The NASA SpaceX mission to the International Space Station, led by Spokane astronaut Ann McClain, scrubbed at the last second tonight. We'll tell you what happened. And the threat of tariffs already hitting one local restaurant hard. The key ingredients, they say, have already doubled or even tripled in price.
We're tracking rain and snow across the region and a round of wind that sweeps the entire inland Northwest tomorrow.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. First up tonight, we are back in weather impact alert mode with the anticipated wind and rain.
Let's kick things off by getting straight to KREM 2 meteorologist Jeremy Liu. Jeremy, when does the wind arrive and how strong can we expect it to be?
Tomorrow morning, 45-mile-per-hour max wind gusts, done by the afternoon, and it's sunny. Oh, now you want the forecast. 47 degrees right now with a couple breaks in the clouds. Don't think we're dry. In fact, we have another wave of energy moving through. We're going to see rain, then a rain-snow mix tomorrow morning before the wind picks up and blows all of this out of here. Gusts around 45 miles per hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Biggest impacts going to be those loose objects moving around. I don't think we have to worry about downed trees or knocked out power or anything like that because we saw a round of stronger wind a few weeks ago and it did nothing. So that's the extent of it. Here's where we have the next wave of energy. There's the little bit of moisture down to the south. Moving through the Tri-Cities, making its way up toward us. A lot of this has been dying down as it moves in, but I still think we get a little wave of it moving through 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, break, and then another wave by, say, 10 p.m. Then as we get into the day tomorrow, notice it starts out pretty crazy early in the morning. That's that push as the wind arrives. That big conglomeration of moisture moves through. As we dry out, the wind picks up. That's how tomorrow works. So tomorrow starts with rain and snow. I don't think we see any accumulation or even snow here in Spokane. It's rain, snow up in the mountains. Sunshine in the afternoon as it's windy, partly cloudy Friday, rain and snow on Saturday. And Saturday, we might just see some of it stick to the grass.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. New information now in the murder case against Brian Kohberger.
Kohberger is charged with murdering 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. In new court documents, prosecutors say the defense will argue that someone else could have planted a knife sheath with Kohberger's DNA at the crime scene.
And because so many documents in this case still remain sealed, we don't know any further details about the plans by the defense team. Kohberger's trial is scheduled to start August 11th. It could last more than 3 months.
Well, tonight we are hearing from a local restaurant about how President Trump's tariff threats are already impacting the prices of products.
KREM 2's Christian Garza spoke with the restaurant's business owner and customers to find out more.
Managers here at Patron Mexican Restaurant say that in just the last couple of weeks, they've seen prices for staple menu items like meat, avocados, and limes all double or even triple.
We're all worried about having to close.
A fear felt by any new restaurant, now a real possibility due to something out of their control: tariffs.
So there's a lot of uncertainty whether or not they're going to be in place.
Martin Javier Perez, the business manager for Patron Mexican Restaurant, says even though tariffs haven't gone into effect just yet, they're already seeing their effects on their staple menu items.
Things have already gone up. And so once the tariffs do go up, then, we don't know if they're going to keep going up or not.
To put it into perspective, the restaurant orders 400 to 600 pounds worth of meat every week, which has gone up about $1 to $2 a pound. A single box of avocados like this one right here went from $70 to $90. And a single box of limes like this one right here went from $40 to $75.
We're trying to hold off from raising prices. At some point, there's only so much that we can kind of cushion.
While raising prices for customers will be a last resort, Perez says it's likely to happen if they don't get some sort of relief soon. KREM 2 had a chance to go inside the restaurant to speak with customers directly to see how they would feel about supporting these local businesses if it means it would directly impact their wallet.
Yeah, I would, depending on, how everything goes. Things rise and they fall, but it's all about, just supporting everything that goes on in Spokane, and I support that.
My short answer to that is yes, in general. My concern would just be about the impact on local economy, and I understand that it puts a lot of pressure financially on small businesses. I definitely notice we go out to eat less than we did in the past, probably price being related to that.
With the future of imported goods being uncertain at this point, Perez asks for the community to be patient and recognize that restaurants like Patron are doing what they can to work around this economic speed bump.
A lot of people don't know what it is to run a restaurant. Everything costs more now. And so if you see something like that where restaurants are trying to save money one way or another for, people to understand.
The tariffs for items that fall under the United States, Mexico, and Canada trade agreement, which was established back in 2020, are set to go into effect on April 2nd. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
In other news, the trial began this week for a man accused of shooting and killing his neighbor.
32-year-old Gunnar Doty is accused of killing Dylan McCorkle in the front yard of his home on North Hamilton Street back on February of 2024. KREM 2 brought you this story when police say Doty barricaded himself inside a basement crawl space of a home near Morton and Carlisle and refused to come out until police launched pepper spray into the home. He is now on trial for second-degree murder.
A 98-year-old man from Moscow has died after a single-car crash yesterday afternoon. Idaho State Police said an SUV was headed north on Highway 95 when it drove off the side of the highway.
It crashed into a telephone pole, and the only occupant, the elderly driver, died at the scene due to injuries from the crash. ISP noted that he was wearing a seatbelt, and they are still investigating the cause of the crash.
Spokane native Ann McLean leading a big mission to the International Space Station. We'll let you know how she continues to inspire local students coming up at about 5:15.
The Trump administration implements sweeping new tariffs. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with the growing trade war and the president's latest push to dismantle the Department of Education.